everyone, this is Hannah giving you today's Rocket Miner News Update. Today I want to talk about some of the community events that we've been looking forward to and some that are still happening and some that have been changed and canceled or postponed because of COVID-19 concerns. To start, I do want to give you an overview of the COVID-19 numbers for Wyoming. Today, the Wyoming Department of Health is reporting that we are up to 1,184 lab-confirmed cases with 860 recoveries and 303 probable cases with 237 recoveries. So with all these numbers together, that means we currently have 390 active cases of COVID-19 in Wyoming. And also that number of lab-confirmed cases went up by 33 since yesterday. So this is showing the continued trend that we've been seeing over the past week or so of the numbers just really going up pretty drastically for Wyoming. And obviously that is having an effect on decisions that are being made and things that are moving forward. I did also want to mention that Governor Mark Gordon will be holding another media briefing that will be at 2:30 p.m. tomorrow. He'll be doing the briefing along with State Public Health Officer Alexia Harris to provide an update on COVID-19. And the media briefing will also include Superintendent of Public Instruction Jillian Ballo to discuss the work of Wyoming's Smart Start Working Group that was charged by the governor with developing guidance for school reopenings this fall. So they'll be talking about where we're at with COVID in Wyoming and what it's looking like for schools to reopen. And of course you can watch that on the Wyoming PBS channels, and we'll share it on our Facebook page as well. So with community events, obviously we've seen things change and go back and forth a lot with COVID-19 concerns. And lately, as things have opened up more, events were starting to be planned again and to go forward. But now that we're seeing this spike in cases here in Wyoming, some things are changing. So some events are still going forward that can be done in a way that includes social distancing and being careful. Some of those events will still be happening. And then others, for various reasons related to COVID-19 concerns, have had to be changed. So I wanted to look at a few of the big ones that we heard about just recently. One of the biggest ones that I know will be disappointing to a lot of people is learning that the annual Sweetwater Blues and Brews has been canceled for this year. According to the press release, they said, the Rock Springs Main Street Urban Renewal Agency, in consultation with Mayor Como and city staff, made the difficult decision to cancel the 2020 Sweetwater Blues and Brews. The organizing committee had been moving forward with plans for the 2020 event and contacting breweries and vendors, booking musical entertainment, applying for permits, and communicating with sponsors. Members were optimistic that given the date of the event, they would still be able to host it. Remember, they'd been planning this event for August. They said, however, the recent spike in COVID-19 cases locally, paired with Governor Mark Gordon's extension on crowds not to exceed 250, made it clear the event would not be possible in 2020. Today we also learned about an exhibit that the Community Fine Arts Center was looking forward to that has had to be postponed. They said the long-awaited Maurice Sendak exhibit, which was originally scheduled to be on display through July, will be a while longer, according to Deborah Sewell, Community Fine Arts Center Director. The exhibit will be postponed until fall 2022. Due to the pandemic, museums and libraries across the country had to close to the public and interrupted the schedule to exhibit this famous children's books artist's memorial traveling exhibit. Maurice Sendak, if you don't know, is the illustrator of Where the Wild Things Are, along with several other children's books and other famous art and illustrations. And so with this one, this was a traveling exhibit that goes around the country. So it sounds like the entire exhibit, traveling everywhere, has been postponed. So because of that, it won't be able to come to the Community Fine Arts Center this year. And they're postponing it back until 2022. But it's great that the Fine Arts Center is still working with them, and obviously we will get this really exciting exhibit eventually, just can't happen this year. But with those things being canceled or postponed, there are still several community events that are going forward and happening over the summer, including events for both of these organizations that have had to cancel or postpone recently. We have an art class coming up for the Community Fine Arts Center, and Downtown Rock Springs' upcoming second Saturday. So for the Community Fine Arts Center, they're going to be obviously changing their exhibit for July, and now they'll be welcoming Arizona artist Katie Woods. They said she is sharing her gourd art for the first time in Wyoming and is excited to teach her method of painting on this natural canvas. The 4-hour class will include demonstrations of wood burning and carving, along with a step-by-step instruction for painting a gourd. The Community Fine Arts Center is covering most of the normal class fee to encourage community members to participate. All supplies are included, and participants will leave with a completed gourd. And then for Downtown Rock Springs, looking into July, they will be hosting their second Saturday event, and that's coming up on July 11th. If you remember, at the beginning of the year, Downtown Rock Springs started doing these second Saturday events that were supposed to happen every month. Obviously, COVID changed things a lot, so we haven't been able to have those for a while, but they're going ahead with plans for July 11th. And that's going to be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Downtown Rock Springs. And there's going to be all sorts of activities and art that you can go around and look at. So there will be a pet parade, will be one of the biggest activities. There's also going to be a fairy hunt and a mural tour and a pop-up art show. So you can always, of course, check rocketminer.com. We have stories and press releases and updates about all of these events, the ones that have been canceled and why, and some of the comments on that, and then more details and information about these upcoming events, including guidelines for social distancing that's being encouraged at those events, and more details on what they'll include and how they'll move forward, and how you can be involved with them. So today I just wanted, again, to remind everyone just to be careful and be considerate and take precautions. We are obviously seeing this spike in numbers, and I don't think that it's an exaggeration at all. I think that it is a serious spread of COVID that we have not seen in Wyoming or in Sweetwater County up to this point. And I think it's a serious concern that we need to take seriously, otherwise things will just keep getting worse. I want to say that Chase did an awesome job in his video yesterday. If you haven't seen that, you should definitely go watch it, where he gave more information about the governor extending the public health orders and some of the comments from Sweetwater County health officials and the current state of COVID-19 in Sweetwater County and some concerns there. So definitely check out his video. Also, again, rocketmart.com, we have stories up about both of those decisions and meetings and the things that are being said. So definitely check those things out. Everyone right now, all the health officials and government officials and everyone who's responding to COVID-19 in Wyoming and locally is just really encouraging everyone to be careful, to be smart, and to be considerate, and do practice things like social distancing and wearing face coverings in public, and quarantining if you feel sick, and getting tested. And there are so many steps that we've been saying this whole time that need to be taken. But I think there's been this attitude that we thought we were doing better, so we thought it was okay to go back to normal. And clearly over this past month we have seen how dangerous that was unintentionally. I don't think people meant to be dangerous or to make things worse. I think people just wanted to get back to normal. But clearly we've seen this past month that we are not there yet. And by not being careful and not taking precautions, we have made things worse. And we will continue to make things worse if we don't take this seriously. And I know everyone gets frustrated and upset when things that you've been looking forward to have to be canceled. Trust me, I feel that very personally too. And it's hard, and it is upsetting, and it is frustrating. But the thing is, if we don't be careful now, this will just keep happening. If the numbers just keep going up, if we just keep going about our lives like nothing is different, things will only continue to get worse. Some places around the country are talking about doing new shutdowns again and closing things and stepping back and making public health orders even more restrictive. And I know Wyoming doesn't want to see that happen. And I know that our leaders are going to try to prevent that as long as they can, but that relies on people taking precautions so that the numbers don't keep going up. Because if they do, we're going to have to do something about it. And I think that there are ways to avoid that, but they involve people taking the precautions that our health officials are telling us to do and being willing to do things like wear a mask and social distance and not have big gatherings. So I just really want to encourage everyone that this is something that should be taken seriously. It is something that is affecting us and that has continued to get worse and will continue to affect us. It will continue to hurt our economy. It will continue to endanger people's lives. And it will continue to be a problem unless we start taking steps to try to respond in smart ways and just to handle things really carefully and to be considerate of each other. And that's what it's going to take for us to get back to normal, is not to pretend that this isn't happening, but to put up with some of the inconveniences that we need to go through right now so that we can get ahead of it again and start seeing those numbers go down again. And that's how we'll end up moving forward and going back to being able to have these events like we want to have. So just another encouragement and reminder to be smart and be careful and be considerate. Thank you for listening. Keep checking back with us for more updates on news and events and everything going on. Thanks for listening, and I hope you have a good night.